That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
A man made, here you go today. Are you ready for it? A man made this argument that the real rivalry in the WNBA is not Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark and Rhyne Howard. And I'm a bit confused by this argument already, just going into it before watching the video, because he said it goes way back to high school. You know, they're Team USA babies. They were on the same Team USA team with Paige and who else? Haley Van Lith and Aaliyah Boston and Haley Jones. And, you know, I think maybe Alyssa Kunane was on the team. I might be just throwing out names there. But all of those girls were on the team. But I don't know if any prior beef that these two had back in college or anything like that. Shout out to Trey Youngstat, who reposted and said, "This is fire. We need to be talking about this rivalry more." He tagged the WNBA, the Atlanta Dream, and the Indiana Fever. So without further ado, I guess let's get into it.
The real rivalry in the WNBA. And it's not Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's Caitlin Clark and Rhyne Howard. And they've been going at it for years. Recently, they got a lot of attention because they were chirping back and forth after a Fever Dream game. But the thing is, this rivalry actually could be great for the league. You got to understand, to have a real rivalry, it has to have some layers behind it. It can't be something falsely orchestrated by the media. It needs to be organic. And this one definitely fits the bill. Let's take this all the way back to high school, because both Clark and Howard played on a stacked Team USA under-19 team. And they had teammates such as Aaliyah Boston, Haley Van Lith, and Paige Beckers. But it was obviously nothing going on then because, you know, they were winning. Moving on to college, their paths eventually crossed in the NCAA tournament. And Iowa ended up defeating Rhyne Howard at Kentucky. But we had signature performances between the two. After college was over, they moved on to the WNBA, and they both became #1 overall picks. And then the rest was history. But you could tell there was no love lost between the two whenever they played. In the first matchup, the Fever ended up winning, but Rhyne Howard dropped 26 points and gave Clark more than she could handle on the defensive end. The second game, however, was a different story. In this game, Clark ended up tying the rookie three-point record set by Rhyne Howard previously by hitting a step-back three in her face, which is kind of poetic. The final matchup of the year was an overtime thriller, and Indiana ended up sneaking away by 4. But both Clark and Howard put on a show, and it showed glimpses of what's to come in the future. And fast forward to now, here we are. What makes stories like this so good for the league is that both of them off the court seem like genuine friends, and they're often seen joking around pregame sometimes. But once the sneakers lace up, you could tell that it's all business. But stories like this show that the W is not full of hate. It's just pure competition. And this rivalry could actually push the league forward.
Dude just made up something, bruh. He just made something up. He just made that whole thing. I sat here for 2 minutes and 10 seconds and watched him just make something up, bruh. He made it sound like Ryan and Caitlin just bump each other and like guard each other intensely. This is a basic WNBA matchup. What are we talking about, bro? It's one of the two better players in the WNBA facing off. That isn't a rivalry. That's just two players facing off. What are we talking about? I don't even know what the point of this is. I don't even know what the point of this is, bro. Yeah, exactly. Look who's trying to force a rivalry now. 100%. But is this you? Before this is forcing a rivalry. This doesn't even make sense. It's got 162,000 views, 7,000 likes nearly. This doesn't even make sense. It would make sense if there was like where they did this every game they played each other. This was the first time this happened between them two on the court. What are we talking about? Some people just be talking, bro. Especially when it comes to Caitlin Clark, bro. People just be talking on this internet about Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark gonna bring in money. Caitlin Clark gonna bring in clicks and things of that sort. I saw this. I saw it picking up some steam. I saw Trey Young's dad even post about it and said, "This is what we need to get behind." and I say, you know what? Maybe I need to react to this on stream. He ain't say a thing that I didn't like. I thought he was gonna say something I didn't know. Like he was gonna say, like, yeah, like their high schools played each other on or their AAU teams played each other, and Caitlin tripped up Ryan and the benches cleared. Like it was nothing. It was nothing. It's like, imagine me saying like the real rivalry in the WNBA is Kelsey Plum versus Jewel. Like just making up stuff, just saying stuff. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about, bro? And I don't know how long this young man has been watching the WNBA. But if it's something where he's like from the South or a Kentucky fan, and he just watches a lot of Rhyne Howard, and he knows Caitlin Clark is the biggest thing, the most famous person in the WNBA. And he was just like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm running. Bro, what is you talking about, bro? Legitimately, what is you? I like, it kind of, it amazes me how much this has just made me mad. I like, bro, what are we talking about, bro? I'm saying the same thing. I'm speaking in circles. Let me move on to the next thing. But that didn't even make no sense. You got to think, like, I waited all day to react to that.
That's steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.